Welcome to the Ben Dino Podcast, where we're calling a spade a spade. Great to be here with you guys today. The question remains, how far is Enes Kanter and Royce White willing to go? The WNBA came out today and said, nope, they're not allowed to be in the WNBA draft. Why? Because it's pretty much all we have. Because we're not taking them seriously. What does that even mean? They filled out the required paperwork to make themselves eligible to be drafted in the WNBA. They have background playing basketball at an extremely high level. They've claimed that they are women, and based on the WNBA's definition, as long as you say you're a woman, you're a woman. So why aren't Enes Kanter and Royce White eligible? Is Kathy Engelbert, did the WNBA finally, did the task force finally come to a collective answer on the definition of what is a woman? No, they didn't. They understand how wild this song and dance looks, so they're going to try to put a stop to it by saying, no, they're not eligible. But in reality, what does that even do? Does that stop Enes Kanter and Royce White moving forward with the troll, moving forward with pushing the WNBA? Being a pain in their proverbial ass? And if they're not eligible to be drafted, if they're not eligible to play in the WNBA, and their reason is, well, because it's a political stunt, they're not really women. The question, like I said, opening up this show, how far is Enes Kanter and Royce White willing to take it? Are they willing to put their dollars on the line and take these MFers to court and really put the pressure on them? Really back them into a corner where they have to give the definition that we all know what it is. A definition that the WNBA is still being scared to come out and say. If you're born with male reproductive parts, you're a male. Female reproductive parts, you're a female. And if you have female reproductive parts, you're allowed in the WNBA. And if you don't, doesn't matter how much hormone therapy, how many estrogen blockers, D-ball, Tren, Winstrol, Anavar, you name it, doesn't matter. You're not allowed in this league. So Enes Kanter and Royce White, I hope you guys put the WNBA's back against the wall. I hope you take their ass to court. I hope you make them give a definition and you make them swallow that woke pill that they've been trying to shove down everyone's throats for the last 10 years. Well, the WNBA has been trying to shove that woke pill down everybody's throats for the last 30 years. Let's get into it, shall we? Like the video, hype the video, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And subscribe to the channel, I would greatly appreciate it. Front Office Sports reports, Enes Kanter and Royce White, two former NBA players, are not eligible to play in the WNBA. League sources tell Front Office Sports. Sources call their draft declarations publicity stunts and say there are no immediate eligibility matters to address. Now, before we get into this article, well, if they're claiming that they're a woman, if they're claiming that they are now female, well, there's really no eligibility matters to address anyway, because they qualify for that league. The article goes on. Enes Kanter and Royce White not eligible to play in the WNBA. In recent weeks, Freedom and White, two former NBA players, both declared their intention to enter the 2027 WNBA draft, claiming they identify as women. A league source called the recent declarations of the two men simply publicity stunts and said that the league is not going to give oxygen to efforts designed to mock the league or use this topic to demean and marginalize others. Yet what they don't understand, giving statements on this matter, acknowledging that this is taking place, forming a task force to meet behind closed doors to come up with definitions of the most basic of things, well, you're already giving oxygen. You're already giving oxygen to the story. You're already feeding in. You could have just deaded the story. Yep, if you're a biological female, you're allowed in. If you're not, you're not. Could have deaded it right there. But you didn't. You decided to drag your feet. You decided to drag people along. You decided to be very vague in your answers, appeasing the mob in your answers. League sources also say that the WNBA does not have any legitimate or immediate eligibility matters that require action. The league will continue to discuss the topic, but it will not allow outside pressure or manufacturer controversy to dictate league processes. Well, again, it already has. This task force wasn't going to talk about this issue before Enes Kanter and Royce White started trolling the shit out of this league. This task force was going to talk about this meeting was going to happen and talk about some other bullshit. But now Enes Kanter flourishing the WNBA's hand, trolling them. Royce White doing the same. Now they are dictating league processes. So the league is reacting to Enes Kanter and Royce White, yet in these statements, they're acting like that's not what's taking place. But unfortunately for the WNBA, people have two eyes, a nose, and a mouth, two ears. We see and we hear what's going on. The WNBA's eligibility rules are collectively bargained. The league's new collective bargaining agreement has one line regarding gender. Only players who are women are eligible to play in the WNBA. The WNBA does not include any language around gender identity or gender assigned at birth. And there's your opening right there. Cloud appeared to shout toward the baseline where Freedom was seated. Freedom stood up, raised his arms before he was immediately restrained by security and removed from the arena. Again, why wasn't Natasha Cloud removed? Natasha Cloud dropped a homophobic slur 2 days ago. And then she got into it with a fan, Enes Kanter, last night. She's not in trouble? She doesn't get punished? Very interesting. Let's take a look at some of the reaction, shall we? Cowards and clowns. This is transphobic. Let these talented women play and stop being bigoted or define woman based on biological fact. Shout out to Annie from Mel. Enes Kanter and Royce White said they will sue for their right to play unless the WNBA clearly defines what a woman is. Banning two players without a clear policy in place is discrimination. Exactly. I want them to take them to court. If they have expendable money and they're willing to keep this going, really back the WNBA into a corner, really show how ridiculous all of this is, don't stop now. See this through. Take it to the last possible logical outcome. And that's the WNBA on record, on camera, defining what it is. Or B, they don't even, see, the crazy thing is, they don't even need to define what it is. They could just change their policy. Say, hey, we're going to have gender testing now. That's it. We're going to have gender testing now. If you test this, you're allowed. If you test this, you're not allowed. They don't even need to get into the definition of it. But they've backed themselves into a corner with all this waffling. Take them to court. The WNBA and woke courts will be forced to face their hypocrisy head on and create precedent. Trans women are women. Don't allow Enes Kanter freedom in the WNBA. Commissioner Kathy Engelbert. Okay, but this is a woman? Damn. Sounds like a lawsuit is coming. Of course, the league doesn't really believe what it says. NBA should remove its connection with the WNBA until they can define what a woman is and return to common sense. Removing the NBA connection would eliminate the direct ownership stake capital, annual support, bundled meeting negotiations, cross-promotion, and facility operational synergies for affiliated teams. Yeah. They're going to be like, ouchie Fauci, and are going to have to raise some serious legal funds. They're going to sue the shit out of them. This is what the whole point is about. Buckle up, motherfuckers. It's coming. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Like the video, hype the video, subscribe to the channel. That means so much to me. See you next time, and as always, take it easy.